So I was just going through some comments and I received a message. The last one I received was from Doc Larson 44, and he asked, are you going to tell us what happened with the SAW class that you attended? What happened with that? Did you get the certification that you want? And I kind of forgotten about that. I did mention I was going to talk about that a little bit. So what it was I have been really fortunate to be able to get in with the United States Forest Service and attend a lot of their advanced wildland training. I'll be doing more work with them in the future as a temporary, I guess kind of a temporary employee. More on that in the future videos. This is something I'm putting together and be working on, probably not this year, but certainly, Lord willing, next year. So the SAW class. The SAW class, what it is that to use a chainsaw on a wildland fire, on a big wildland or a big Forest Service federal fire, you need to have certain certifications, and there's 3 different levels. It used to be A, B, and C. A being a beginning faller, where you could basically just cut brush out of, or small trees out of the trail, off the ground, and fall really tiny stuff. You know, nothing really bigger than a foot or so. A Class B faller is a faller that can work independent and fall up to, these numbers are probably not right, but it's somewhere at or near the area of like a 24-inch tree. More complicated, more complex items, trees. And then of course the highest rating is a C faller, which is unlimited. Those are the guys and gals that are able to do the really dirty, nasty stuff, the really difficult snags, the danger trees, killer trees, that sort of thing. So they've changed it this year, and the qualifications are basically the same, but now they're going to be 1, 2, and 3. 3 being a beginning faller, 2 an intermediate to advanced faller, and then of course 1 would be the highest rating you can get. I didn't know what to expect really going into this. The testing process and the evaluating and going through all of it was actually quite challenging. I learned a tremendous amount from the class. As I was talking to Mrs. Wranglerstar afterwards, and when I was about halfway through everything, I said, man, some of the things that I have done in the past and some of the risks that I have taken, it made me shudder. Because the thing is with my falling experience is I never have, I'm not a professional. I hope I never tried to come off as one. I'm simply, it was just kind of something that was a passion of mine. I'm like a hobby logger. And what I have learned and picked up over the years has just been out of trial and error and talking to different people. And I never really knew the science behind what I was doing and why. Now, after spending a week with the Forest Service, it was really wonderful for me because I really got an insight as to the mechanics behind tree falling, why you do particular things, different sorts of cuts. It was an excellent class. It was the best wildland training that I ever had. I was just trying to make it last and soak it all up because I was really in my element there. And we had some instructors that were, 2 of them, that were Class C fallers or Class 1 fallers, the highest rating, that had incredible experience, and they were great teachers, and I was really pleased, really lucky to be able to work alongside them and to learn from them. Actually, the guy that was running the class, I'm not going to use his name, I don't have permission, was the man that wrote the entire curriculum for the USFS. So he's on the top of the heap. And if you come out of his class with a rating, you can be sure that you deserve it, because he did not make it easy on you. It was one of the more challenging things I've done in a long time. It was very stressful. It's one thing to go out and to cut trees, and that is a very dynamic and intense environment or experience, but having someone critique you and point out what you're doing right and point out what you're doing wrong is a whole nother thing. It was fun because you would go in and you would go through your cuts on the final day when we were being evaluated by the sea fallers. You would stop, and then the whole class, which was small, there was only 5 of us, 5 or 6 of us, and then we would talk about it. What did I do right? What did I do wrong? What should have been done in this? So I really enjoyed it. What were my expectations coming out of it? I thought that I was hoping I would be able to come through there as the lowest level, as an A faller. That's not guaranteed. A or Class 3 faller. So it was definitely not guaranteed. If it wasn't just because you signed up for the class and went through it, didn't necessarily mean you would come out of there with a card or certification. So the final day, day 5, was what the whole class led up to. It was the evaluating, where we actually had to take down trees. And the first one I did actually didn't go very well. and my instructor, bless his heart, really worked with me and helped me, and both of them, they understood that I was a little nervous. I really was nervous about it, and made mistakes that I like to think I wouldn't have made here, but I persevered and hung in there, and my second one, it turned out okay. So I came out of the class as a certified B faller. I've got a lot to learn before I would be able to get the highest ranking, that C faller, Class 1 faller. A lot of it is skill. A lot of it is skill and technique, knowing these things. That's half of it, but I'll tell you what the other half of it, and the part that I really don't have a real strong background in, is being able to identify hazards and being able to identify different types of trees and how they react, and using different sorts of cuts to get different effects. And that is something that I found really interesting, and I'm looking forward to eventually keep working and keep practicing and training and working with some guys that have a lot of experience, and ultimately I would like to get that Class 1 faller rating. I think that would be pretty cool. I like the wildland service because, I think what it's like at Mrs. Wranglerstar, or I think my sister, the Fresh Peas, she summed it up. It's like, I think I know why you guys like this so well. It's because it's kind of like Boy Scouts for men and women. You don't exactly get a sash with merit badges, but it's not unlike that. So it's nice to have those goals and to be able to put test your skills, put yourself up there with other men and women, and to see kind of where you're at and to learn from one another. It was a great experience. Really enjoyed it. So that's to answer your question. I did come out as a B faller. Squeaked into that one, but I feel pretty good about it. I was really pleased with that. And look forward to even getting better at it. And I can tell you this, that I'll definitely do things different from now on, and I've learned a lot how to identify hazard situations, how to really control a tree and to change angles and do different things that I never knew how to do before. So it was a great experience. Great experience. I really enjoyed it. So I just kind of wanted to clue you in on that, and I'll talk a little bit about this AD program. It might be something that many of you might be interested in. So how it works with the feds is that AD is basically a temporary employee with the Forest Service on the fire ground. So what happens in this particular area, for example, we have full-time staffed hand crews and engine crews that are dispatching go fight fires on the federal land. So if the season gets really bad, which it seems to always do now, it's kind of the trend in our country from now on, those resources get really stretched and they don't have enough people to do what needs to be done. So they'll keep a list of qualified individuals, which is what they call ADs. And I don't even know what AD stands for. Maybe one of you guys can put that in the comments. And so they'll make some phone calls, and it's not unlike being a volunteer firefighter, but there is some differences that you get paid. So whatever your ranking, let's say that I am a FFT1 and a B Sawyer, I have those certifications, or I am an engine boss or squad boss, whatever, there is a flat rate of pay of what those individuals make doing that job. And you get that full rate, just like you were a federal employee. The difference is they make a call and they'll call me up and say, hey Cody, we want you to come down and we want you to be an engine boss on an engine here for 1 shift, 2 shifts, whatever. You can make the decision whether you want to do that or you don't want to do that. If it fits into your schedule, you can do that. The other nice thing about it is it opens up and gives you access to a whole world of training opportunities that you also will get paid to do while you're attending. So all of the 3 weeks of wildland training that I did this year, I had to take time off to do that, and I don't get paid for that. Simply, they paid for the training. It didn't cost me anything other than my time. But as an AD or a temporary employee with the feds, then you're able to make, you get paid an hourly wage while you're doing that. The other thing that it will allow you to do is that they will help you if you want to build a career in wildland fire with the feds. You can kind of tailor what direction you want to go to. As you get involved with it, they'll sit down and talk with you. Well, what direction do you want to go? Do you want to be a crew boss? Do you want to be an engine boss? Do you want to be a TFL, a task force leader? Do you want to be a division supervisor? Do you want to make a career in wildland fire as overhead or management? Do you want to be on helitack? Do you want to work with aircraft and be dropped in remote areas for structure protection? All of those different opportunities, you can start working towards that. You can start earning your merit badges, and so you're qualified to do those. So when the call comes up, they'll go down the list and say, this guy is qualified, this woman is qualified for such and such. Would you like to go? Would you like to go do that? And they can send you anywhere in the country. Anywhere that resources are called up for a federal or a major incident like that, you'll have an opportunity to do that. So I'm really excited about that. I never ever considered myself that I would ever work for the federal government in any way, but I love wildland firefighting, and this is an opportunity for me to start a career in it and to really get involved more so than I even am now. So that's kind of what that is. So just a little heads up about the class and how it went, and I guess that's it. So we'll see you guys on the next video.
Are you in the mood for a really good laugh? Would you like to see me completely out of my element? Click on this video, it'll take you over to my attempt to make a pizza from scratch in my sister the Fresh Pea's kitchen. If you don't already know, my sister the Fresh Pea runs a YouTube channel. She does a lot of cooking and lifestyle, and she has done a great job, and her channel is growing faster than mine did, and it wouldn't surprise me if someday she eclipses what I've accomplished here on YouTube, and that would be just fine with me. I invite you to go over there. I'll put a link here. You can watch this video of my epic pizza kitchen fail, and I hope you enjoy it. And please take a moment to comment and say hello to her, and subscribe if you haven't already, and show support for my little sis. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.